What is going on, everybody? Thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully, everybody's enjoying their Sunday here. Recording this a little bit later in the afternoon. And yes, I do have a live show tomorrow starting at 8 a.m. But I felt like I needed to get something out before then. This video is going to be just 100% about Luka Doncic and his performance last night against the Denver Nuggets in the big-time win that the Lakers had against Denver yesterday. So sit back. Hopefully you enjoy it. It's not going to be too long. This is obviously audio only, so no video in this one. We'll probably go 15 or 20 minutes or so, and then we'll follow back up with a show in the morning tomorrow. Looking forward to it starting at 8 a.m. Chris McGee, who does the pre, half, and post for Spectrum Sportsnet, Geeter, will be joining the show tomorrow, so looking forward to that. All right, let's get right into it. How phenomenal was Luka Doncic last night against Denver? How brilliant was Luka last night against the Denver Nuggets? He was fantastic. I mean, there's so many great things to say about Luka's game yesterday, but for me, I think the thing that stood out the most, he looked like Luka again. That's it. For the first time in a Laker jersey, he looked like Luka Doncic. Because the player that we all know, and the reason why everyone hallucinated for the span of a couple of weeks of how Dallas could trade Luka Doncic, we all have a vision of who that player is, who that individual is, what he brings to the table, what he's accomplished by the time he reached age 25 in the NBA. We all know who that player is. We haven't seen him yet as a Laker. And it's not that, and I think anybody's questioning whether he's going to become that player, but I think the question is just when, not if. And last night was your answer. Last night you got the real Luka Doncic. You got 32, 10, and 7 with 4 steals, 10 of 22 from the field, hit 4 3-pointers, 8 of 8 from the free throw line, hit some daggers, was hitting LeBron in perfect stride a couple occasions, was hitting Jackson Hayes when he needed to, was pulling up and hitting threes left and right, was posting on Jamal Murray, bodying him up, was hitting step-back threes over Christian Brown. Last night, you got a chance to see Luka Doncic, the real version of Luka Doncic, the version that we've all been waiting for, the version that once that trade went down, everybody just assumed that's going to happen right away. Okay, it took a couple of games. But you saw last night why so many people are excited and why you're really kind of starting to turn the page of what the Lakers used to be, and now you're turning the page towards what the Lakers can be with a Luka Doncic-led team. He was just brilliant. He was just fantastic. I got a couple of quotes from yesterday's game that I think says a lot. Here's LeBron. He says he was super dialed in. He was very locked in on what he wanted to do out here on the floor tonight. Once he started hitting those step-back threes and got to yelling and barking either at the fans or at us or himself, I think, one thing that I'll tell you guys real quick about Luka. The question is just mentally when he's going to get over getting traded. The question is when he's going to, there's stages in life, when something happens to you, it's the shock, maybe some grief, maybe some anger, maybe some acceptance, whatever it is, right? I don't know the stages by heart or anything like that. But I think last night, at least to me, it seemed like Luka Doncic was like, I'm ready to go play basketball. You know what? Forget whatever happened. Forget what happened with Dallas. Forget the shock of me getting traded. Forget them saying whatever they said on my way out the door. Forget the loyalty that I thought the Mavs would show me the way they showed Dirk. Forget all that. By the way, forget also that I made it to the NBA Finals last year, just 8 months ago. I've got to the Western Conference Finals before, that I'm a 5-time first-team All-NBA, and I'm 25 years old, that I have stats that are out there that compare to just players like Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain by the time I'm 25. Forget all that. Forget all that. They traded me. And now I just got to accept that I got traded. And now I got to go out here and be what I'm supposed to be. Last night we got our first taste. I'm going to read a quote here. There was a quote from J.J. Redick. All right. And I think for me, it's a very, very important quote of what I think the future holds for the Lakers. He says, I think Luka needs to be the guy that controls the offense. And Bron and AR, because we're going to stagger everybody, they're going to have their times to be on the ball. But all three of those guys are very, very intelligent basketball players, and we can create mismatches. We can get teams in the blender. Let me go back to what he said first. I think Luka needs to be the guy that controls the offense. I don't think LeBron's going to have a problem with that. I know Austin Reeves not going to have a problem with that. The question was just going to become, when is Luka going to accept that? He accepted it last night. LeBron had a quote yesterday as well that I think is interesting. I'm a natural-born wide receiver, and he's a natural-born quarterback. So it fits perfectly. Here's the reality about LeBron. LeBron can play any position at any time. You want him to be quarterback, he's quarterback. You want him to be wide receiver, he's wide receiver. You want him to be tight end, he'll fit in at tight end. You want him to play safety, he'll be safety for you. You want him to be a linebacker, he'll be a linebacker. That's what makes LeBron so brilliant. And last night was part of the reason of what makes LeBron so brilliant, is that he's able to adapt in any situation, any circumstance. Yeah, I got it. No problem. Yep, I can handle this, I can handle that. But it really is going to come down to Luka just taking over whenever he's ready to take over. The franchise it's his, right? Franchise is his. It's just a matter of when he decides, I'll go ahead and take it from here. ESPN last night, Luka Doncic 32-point night helps Lakers finally win in Denver. LA Times, Luka Doncic dominates as Lakers finally end 8-game losing streak in Denver. Guys, this wasn't just a normal game either. This was a game against a team that has just been a complete headache for the Los Angeles Lakers franchise, for this Los Angeles Lakers franchise. A complete headache. A team and a franchise that has dominated the Lakers 8 straight times, including 5 in the playoffs. The Lakers came to Denver and left with an L. This is coming out of the LA Times. I'm reading something here from them. We know they had lost 13 of their last 14 games. We know Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. have dominated the Lakers. And then if you go back the last couple of years, KCP and Bruce Brown and Jeff Green, all these players have been fantastic against the Lakers. Here comes Luka. The first time that the Lakers play the Denver Nuggets with Luka Doncic, they win by 23 on the road. What? That just shows you how excellent of a player Luka is and how instantly it changes whatever your fortune looked like before. Will Denver eventually make adjustments? Of course. They're going to play him twice over the course of the next 30 days. And when they, obviously eventually play them, there'll be a lot more data that we're going to get when they play each other 3 times rather than just 1 time. But that's what Luka can do instantly. Instantly, that's how he changes this team. And he hadn't played well in his first 3 games. And I was adamant about that. And I wasn't kind of shying away from him. I'm like, look, this isn't Luka. Luka's not a 14, 15-point player a game. Luka's not a pass-first type of player. Luka's not a guy that's going to play off the ball. Last night, that was Luka Doncic. A quote from Jared Vanderbilt. He showed that fire, that energy, his passion. You could see it come back out, and that's what we've been missing. We've been preaching to him, play his game, be you. And that's what we love about the game and love about him, being able to come out here and show the passion and show that fire. And he had it going tonight. He was talking his shit, which is phenomenal. Obviously was out there feeling good about the Lakers situation, was feeling good about his predicament, his situation. He had a quote too yesterday. I'm going to read this off, and this says something here. These aren't. I don't think Luka's just saying this to say it, but let's. I'm gonna pump the brakes as well. I'm not gonna try to hype up too much here or anything like that. But I'm just gonna take his quote from last night. Our goal is to win a championship. That's our only goal. And I think we have the team for that. Obviously, the chemistry with me and the guys is going to take a little bit of time still. But like you saw today, I think it's getting better and better. Luka understands that when he got traded to this franchise, whatever the expectations were before, whatever the free pass that he got in Dallas, I mean, I say that, but here's the reality. Dallas was balling out. They've been balling out since he got there. That doesn't guarantee you a championship, but it's not like he didn't have success in Dallas. He had great success in Dallas. A Western Conference berth and an NBA Finals berth. Come on now. He's 25. Let's stop pretending like that's nothing. That's incredible. But at the same time, and go look at all these NBA greats, the best player on their team, getting to the finals at age 25, that's freaking impressive. And Boston was better, and that just, is what it is. But for him to understand that, okay, whatever those expectations were in Dallas, the expectations, all of a sudden, you come to the Los Angeles Lakers, one of the most prestigious franchises in all of sports, that's always got a spotlight on them like no tomorrow, that, has people like me who've got pretty much channels dedicated to Lakers basketball. People are always talking about nationally, locally, however you want to call it. There's always a spotlight on the Lakers. And now Luka's a Los Angeles Lakers. So for him to say, obviously that's the right quote. Our goal is to win a championship. But he's talking about the chemistry of the roster. It's only going to get better. And yesterday was obviously was a good indication of what some of the potential is. There's one other thing here that I want to point out. Lakers beat a Nuggets team that had won 9 in a row. We're playing unbelievable basketball. Here's what Nikola Jokic said after the game, which I thought was a little bit interesting. I don't think he's trying to take something away from the Lakers, but Denver was the hottest team in the NBA coming into yesterday's game. He said, we had a 9-game winning streak against teams that were injured and not really good or high in the standings. So maybe we tricked ourselves. I genuinely don't think Jokic is trying to take something away from the Lakers, but I think maybe there's a little bit of like this, hey, let me wake up our team. Here's who they played over those 9 games. Philly, we know their situation. Charlotte, we know they're not good. 2 against New Orleans, we know their situation. Orlando, they've had a lot of injuries. Phoenix, I don't think anybody thinks is a good team. 2 against Portland, another one against Charlotte, and then the Lakers. So there is something to what he's saying, right? A 9-game winning streak, most of those games at home and against teams that are either injured or just not good. But for the Lakers, I think it really didn't have anything to do with Denver. It had more to do with the Lakers. It's a team you've always struggled against. It's a team that's always had your number. It's a team that's always handled you, whether in the playoffs or in the regular season. Nikola Jokic was 2 of 7 from the field yesterday. I didn't even know that was scientifically or physically possible that he could play that poor of a game. I give the Lakers a lot of credit for yesterday's win. And like I said, it has less to do with the Denver Nuggets. It has more to do with the Lakers. It has more to do with what they were able to accomplish. And here's the beauty for the Lakers. And I know I've said this a number of different times, but they got more tests that are coming. So if you thought it was fun to see Luka at Denver, how about Luka taking on his former team, the Dallas Mavericks, coming up on Tuesday? How about Luka taking on Anthony Edwards? How about Luka taking on the Clippers for 2 straight games? How about Luka going up against Zion? How about Luka taking on Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, and the Knicks? Or how about at Boston or at Brooklyn or at Milwaukee or at Denver? Just so many great games coming up for the Lakers where we're going to get a really good idea of what this team's all about. But last night, I think, was one of the indications of what this team, the potential this team has. I think it's a completely different team, different structure, different look, all that stuff, right? Like none of what you remember from the Lakers the last couple of years you should take into account moving forward, because it's not the same team, and it's not the same stars, and it's not the same superstar, and it's not going to be the same style of basketball. But one thing that I do know is Luka was incredible last night. And if you can just get Luka Doncic to just feel comfortable with the situation, what he did last night is literally nothing special to what he does every single night so far in his career, seven years in. Him putting up 32, 10, and 7 is just another day in the office. It's not that much different than when Bron puts up 28, 8, and 8. That's just what these guys do. We just hadn't seen it yet in a Laker jersey. And last night was the first time that we saw in a Laker jersey. So just really, really beautiful basketball from the team. I don't want to take anything away from a lot of the other players because I know a lot of the other players were great as well. You don't win that game without Rui, without Reeves, without Dorian Finney-Smith, without Jared Vanderbilt. There are a lot of players. Jackson Hayes, I thought, had some good moments. There are a lot of players last night that contributed for the Lakers. So I'm not trying to take anything away from the other players. I've already spoke about how brilliant LeBron was last night, playing predominantly off the ball and doing everything that he was. But Luka was really, really special last night, and he was able to be special for the first time in a Laker jersey. And I think it just kind of points to what's to come for the Lakers and the potential that they have. So just a fantastic win and a fantastic performance. And the good news now is it looks like Luka mentally is back. He's unlocked. He's ready to go. He's working on still churning the page and becoming one of the best players in the world, like everybody already knows he is, and will continue to have that killer instinct that comes with Luka Doncic. Okay, my people, that's all I got for tonight. I just wanted to get up a quick video and have this specifically be on Luka. Feel free to put your thoughts and your comments below what you thought of Luka's performance last night. If you guys don't mind, please subscribe to the channel as well. You also can be an MVP member. I had a members-only video a little bit earlier today. Went about an hour and just did a Q&A with those who are members. Even gave away that Luka Doncic shirt that I was talking about. So I had a member win that. Would love for you guys to be members. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. I'm back on tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday, and we'll get to you tomorrow morning. Thank you, everybody.